Welcome back. I'm joined once again by John Volken, founder of the Welcome Home Society. Now, you started this Welcome Home Society after you sold United Furniture Warehouse for quite a lot of money. You were very comfortable. Why did you decide to start this particular venture as opposed to something else?
Well, people ask me that all the time.
Yeah,
they
sure.
figure I have some kind of problems.
Right.
But
I mean, they probably think, did you have a drug problem? Did you have an alcohol problem that you're helping people with addiction issues?
No.
But you didn't have any history of that.
No, none at all. But as I said earlier, we once we take care of our families, our loved ones, we are to give back, work for society. Mm-hmm. And I just firmly believe that that there's a reason for us to be here. And my reason is to this Welcome Home, because I felt like all throughout my life it was easy to make money, and I thought, what you could do with the money? Mm-hmm. You know, you always you have a bed to sleep in, and you have all the food to eat, and your mortgage is paid for. So we turned all the money into the foundation, and the foundation helps the
So what do you do
drug
exactly?
addicts.
Explain what Welcome Home does.
Well, Welcome Home is a residential long-term treatment facility for people who suffer from drug addiction.
So if someone's an addict, they call up Welcome Home, is that the idea, and say, do you have a bed for me? I'd like to clean up?
That's right.
How is it different? I mean, there's a lot of drug rehab clinics out there. What's different about this?
Well, yeah, it's quite different, because most programs are short-term programs, mm-hmm. and they get, and people going there, they have to pay for it somewhere. Quite often the welfare pays for it. Mm-hmm. We don't accept welfare payment at all. We feel like it's a fundamental necessity for someone who want to enjoy lifelong sobriety. They have to have a job. Mm-hmm. They have to keep a job. Drug addicts quite often don't. You know, they go from job to job. Short-term programs don't work. Historically, there's enough statistics. They don't work. It cleans them up for maybe for 6 months or so, but they relapse every time.
How hands-on involved are you? I mean, do you go to the treatment facility and talk to the patients?
Oh yeah, all day long.
Really?
On quite often all night.
So you're not
long.
just sort of sitting in your house in West Van and kind of.
No, I actually live there.
You live there. You live with these guys. And I mean, how do you connect with? I mean, you're this multimillionaire from Germany, originally from Germany, and these are, many of them are homeless people, Canadians. How do you connect with them?
They're not quite often homeless. Many of them come from good families. Mm-hmm. They just happen to be drug addicts. Yeah. And you don't have to be that. You don't need to especially be trained for it. If you're a good father, if you know when to kick butts and when to put your arm around them, mm-hmm. when to say no, there are too many people, parents enabling them. And if you really understand that, that's all it's needed
I've heard
to change their lives.
When you were running a business, you treated your employees with great respect, but you also expected a lot from them, like most successful entrepreneurs do, and that you treat the people in the residential program similarly. You have high expectations of them, right?
Yes. Well, you have to. Yeah. That's why we don't expect, or we don't even accept welfare. Mm-hmm. You say, no, you have to stand on your own. And our people, that's what they learn. They learn all things, not just overcoming their addiction, but they learn to be good fathers, good employees, good citizen, model citizen, in fact.
So what happens to these? I mean, how many people have been through the program at this point?
Well,
in the hundreds?
We had, not quite. I mean, we're getting more all the time. Mm-hmm. We have about 40 now. We do the same thing in Seattle. We have half in Seattle mm-hmm. and half here. We're building a larger residential facility.
Is it all adults?
Yes, they have to be at least 19.
So do you have some success stories, people going back and...
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
If you look at our website for testimonials, there are so many. We put down Welcome Home Changes Life, but quite often you hear it all the time, it saved my life. If it wasn't for Welcome Home, I'd be dead now. And the tragedy is when people, before they come to us, it's usually those that hit bottom. They mm-hmm. cannot help themselves. And that there's a difference between drug abuse and drug addiction. Not all people who misusing drugs are addicts, but once they become addicts, they cannot help themselves because it changes your brain, it changes your mind, it changes your body. You cannot help yourself. You need treatment.
I mean, there is certainly a whole school of thought in terms of harm reduction, and certainly accepted in some circles in Vancouver, that drug addiction is an illness, the way that it's a chronic illness, the way diabetes or anything else is, and it has to be treated medically rather than sort of morally. And that sounds like you're sort of at least partly addressing it that way.
No, our minds clash somewhat. Yeah. I don't believe it's an illness. I mean,
there is a chemical part of it.
Yes,
you become physically addicted.
You're quite right. It becomes an illness.
Right.
But to begin with, it's I mean, you know, is smoking an illness? I mean, it's a habit. You start with it. You don't want to get a cold, but nothing you can do about it necessarily. Right. But you can do something about not become an addict. Don't use drugs. Simple as that. But then once you're using it, once you become an addict, yes, then it's an illness and you need help.
Right.
No question about it.
Right. Well, thank you for joining us, and good luck with it. Sounds like a wonderful, worthwhile venture. You can find out more about Welcome Home by visiting their website, welcomehomesociety.org. More of The Standard when we return.